It has been kind of difficult to work on my trial skills while living somewhere where I can't just go out and ride right outside my front door. Since we're in a housing development right now, I kind of can't ride at all, so my solution is to wheel the bike in the backyard, behind a gate of course, where people can't stare at me like a crazy person, and do some static balance exercises. While I can't ride, this is still helping me keep up on my balance and just work on some other skills such as wheel hopping, which you'll see here in a couple moments.
So I know this isn't my normal setting. Normally we're in the trailer, but we are not off grid right now. We're actually at my mother-in-law's. So since I have a full kitchen with a whole oven, I'm gonna take advantage of that and I'm gonna bake some bread today. So while I bake some bread, I'm gonna talk at a camera for a little while and see if I can come up with some interesting things to say. So more updates. Right now we don't currently have a plan for what we're going to do next. Kind of waiting and feeling out, seeing how things are going to go with Taylor's job, and also we have kind of looked into other camp hosting opportunities because we really enjoyed it, and it's also a nice way to still be out in nature and have very low overhead costs. Even though we have to deal with the general public a lot, I think that, you know, the benefits outweigh the cons for sure as far as camp hosting goes. So doing stuff like that, we have quite a bit of vehicle repair to do right now on all the vehicles and all the bikes. So the C10, we had some starter issues, and we also had some clutch slave cylinder issues, which in my previous video I thought we had fixed the slave cylinder issues, but after driving with the trailer all the way here, which is about an hour-and-a-half drive, it decided that the slave cylinder was bad. So we have to rebuild that. So we finally got the parts in yesterday, so this weekend we can get that done and we'll have the truck up and running again so we can actually pull the trailer somewhere. And as well as the FJ, which has had blown shocks for a long time, and now it's getting to the point where it's audibly bad. In the next couple weeks we're going to be doing a lot of vehicle maintenance, and I'll be sure to get videos on that. Another thing is we just competed in a trial this last weekend. Taylor competed in his very first trial, and we also acquired a new trials bike. Taylor bought a 2022 Evo 250, which is the same year as my Evo 200, but is the 250, and his is practically brand new with only a few hours on it. So he's pretty excited. We did the trial. It was a little bit on the rough side. Not for him. He did really, really well. He actually took 5th place overall, and I took dead last. All right, I'm getting way too distracted, and I need to continue measuring out all my crap. Okay, I'm back. I'm ready to bake some bread, so let me read the instructions again and see. Okay, we're just gonna sprinkle. Or look at that. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I don't have my... Look at that dough. All right, anyways. Pow! Pow! Uh-oh. I've got the dog's attention. Okay, well, please hold. I have no idea what I'm doing because this recipe did not make it like the most clear in the world. So I didn't go into much detail about my trial. I guess I can go into it a little bit. So essentially, what happened was, so he wanted to compete in this trial, and so like my first thought was, like, I can't let him beat me. I can't let this guy who's never done a trial in his life beat me. Like, I've been working on trials all summer long. Like, he's not really worked on it as much as I have. I can't let him beat me. So I'm already starting out kind of like stressed out, thinking, well, he's a better rider than me already. So he's got that advantage. And he's a lot more confident in his skills than I am. And when I lose confidence, I just kind of make stupid mistakes. And so I started out the day thinking that, and then we kind of had this snafu in the morning. We overestimated the amount of time that we had because we only have the one vehicle right now because our C10's broken. So we had to shuffle bikes back and forth with the FJ with the single hitch hauler. And I dropped Taylor off with his bike first, and then my bike and me was second, and I came back, and by the time I got back home to grab the other bike, I was like, fuck. By the time I get back, I will get back the minute the rider meeting starts. And so I'm stressing out. And so I started stressing out, and anyways, I started out the day in just this terrible mood. And the first time I made an unnecessary dab, it was a downward spiral from there. And I got all threes in my first round, which 3, if you don't know trials, 3 is you get points based on how many times you dabbed. And that's not the goal. The goal is to have the least amount of points, not the most. And so you get 1, 2, and 3. 3 is the most amount of points you can get in a section without getting a 5, which means you have fallen or you have stalled your bike. So, the thing is that I also was wearing like a moto helmet instead of my trials helmet because we only got the one trials helmet. And it fits Taylor better, and his only other helmet is a dual sport helmet, which is really heavy. So he had asked, since I own a motocross helmet, it's a lot lighter, can I please wear that and let him wear the trials helmet? So we did that, we exchanged helmets. And in trials, you're going so slow that not only does your face get hot, like if you wear glasses or goggles, you're gonna fog up, and also like you can't see because you've got the full face. Trials helmet's completely open, you can have this full range of vision, and you have all this airflow, and so my glasses started fogging up immediately, and it compounded and I spiraled. I got all threes in my first round, and this is in round 2. I had my first fall, and I had my first 5. And then that is really where I started to spiral bad, and I started getting upset because then after that fall, and I went down so hard that I bent my shift lever, and I bent it, so I think like some of the shift forks got jammed because then I couldn't shift it out of first gear. So now I've got this broken bike, I'm already pissed off, my glasses are fogged up, I can't fucking see anything, and on my way to the next one, there was this route that was about, I don't know, 1.5 feet tall. And the first round I'd gone over it just fine, no problems, and the second time, I was already freaked out because I had just fallen, my bike was stuck in first gear, and I made a dumb mistake. But at that moment in time, my back tire decided to catch all the traction it had missed before, and it launched itself into the air and landed a couple feet in front of me upside down. And I look, and my back fender is crumpled up underneath my bike, broken off. And I lost it. I just fucking lost it. And I was upset. And then from there on, I waited. Somebody offered to run and grab me some duct tape and zip ties, so thank God somebody was kind enough to do that. Somebody ran back, we taped it all up, and I finished that round, and then at the end of the round, I was like, I'm just gonna quit. My bike's broken. I can't do this. I'm in a bad mood. It's affecting me, it's affecting my score, and now I've broken my bike because I'm being a pain in the ass. And that's when I found out that I was the last person, and that I was so far behind that they had to stop, and they were going to now put me in the afternoon class and make me go first as the novice rider in the afternoon class with the advanced riders because I had taken that much longer and I was holding people up. So then I was really embarrassed. So I really, really, really wanted to quit, but all my friends were like, no, don't quit. It's so easy for you to just finish this out. Your bike's not that broken. I'm coming up with every excuse in the book. I'm like, well, I'm not feeling good now, and my bike's broken, my fork seals are leaking. My fork seals have been blown for several months. yeah, so with the encouragement from other people, I decided to go ahead and continue and finish it out. I got one more 5, so I got 2 5s in total, and a very broken bike. But I finished it, and I got dead last. The most frustrating part to me, I think... Alright, ready? Whoa. 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 Woo. Okay, steam deck. Maybe I let too much steam out. The most frustrating part of the entire thing was the fact that I have spent all this time creating a face on the internet with my Instagram reels on learning how to ride trials this whole summer. And I try to have a good attitude, and I preach having a good attitude when things aren't going well. And here I am at this trial crying and being just a miserable person because I screwed up. And I'm going against everything that I had preached all summer, and that, I think at the end of the day, is what really upset me, is that I know better, and I know how to handle my emotions, and I know that I am not the best person. I'm not the most capable adult of handling my emotions, because who is? But I feel like knowing that that's a problem and recognizing that pattern and trying to fix it from here forward is a more mature thing to do. So that's kind of where I'm at. And even when I rode on Monday again with Taylor, I wouldn't do half the things that I know that I can do because I was still pretty shaken from the day before. So even now, like, that took a lot out of me. It was a lot of anxiety and a lot of disappointment that I'm still trying to recover from. So I'm a little bit down the last couple days, but it's okay.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, go check out my new podcast, Solitude and Singletrack, available on Apple, Google, and Spotify, or wherever else you listen to podcasts from. I'd really appreciate if you gave me a 5-star rating, and yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll catch you next time.